We spend a lot of time jigging for walleye on the Detroit River. We use a keep it simple approach to our baits, try to not get too crazy, just a few different colors, a few different baits, and it keeps us productive most of the time. So what we want to start off with is the jigs. First off, I like to use a 3/4 jig. This is the jig I use most of the time. When I've got beginners on the boat in extremely windy conditions or in extremely deep areas of the river, we'll bump that up to a 1-ounce jig. In extremely shallow areas, or sometimes the fish just want the slower drop of the 5/8 ounce jig, we will move down to a 5/8 ounce. This is a walleye current cutter style, so it doesn't get pushed around by the current too much. With colors, we stick with 3 basic colors and then add a couple more in if they're not biting on those. So the first color, my favorite color I like to use, is what I call Hottentot yellow. It's just a bright yellow. If that's not working, I'll try black. Next, we try lead. Usually they're hitting on one of them 3 colors. Sometimes we'll try pink, orange, or a brown jig. Again, those 3 are secondary colors. One thing I'd like to show you on these jigs is when they come from the factory, the hook is almost bent down. It's really straight and it's a tight gap. So what I like to do is just take my needle nose pliers and just bend it out a little bit, so when it gets in the walleye's mouth and you set the hook, it'll pull up and you'll get a lot better hook set. Now onto the worms. We're using a Wyandotte worm 80% of the time. This is just a 4-inch paddle tail worm. They sell them all over down by the river. Brown is one of the favorite colors. Black with silver sparkles. And then camouflage, which is like a motor oil with red, green, and gold metal flakes in it. Though again, these 3 colors are the first 3 colors I try, and I'm using those 90% of the time. Sometimes when it's real muddy, I'll use a yellow or a white worm. These last couple of years, we've been using a lot of these finesse minnows. Here's a 4-inch and a 5-inch finesse minnow. Try these in the natural minnow looking colors. They work really well. I'm going to show you how to thread these on. What I like to do is just butt that up to the jig, and then you'll see where that hook would like to come out is right in front of the collar on this one. Then just thread it right up the middle and bring it out right in front of the collar. Push that worm right up tight to the head and it lays straight. Now stinger hooks, I like to use a small, very lightweight stinger hook. It's light so it'll suck into the fish's mouth easy, and also it'll pull out of snags really easy. I don't want to be tying jigs up. I'd rather re-straighten them and sharpen them than to be tying new ones up all day. This is just a slip-on. It's about 3 inches long. You just slip it on, pull it tight, and it goes right back to the tail of the worm. Most of the times I just hang that free. If I'm in a real snaggy area, I just barely put that in the tip of the worm. Like that. I only do that if I absolutely have to. So Hopefully you can use our keep it simple approach to colors, weights, and baits for your jigging, and it'll help eliminate some confusion and help you catch more fish.